This Friday is International Hummus Day, and while we're all really far too excited to concentrate on anything else, here at Xbox we also have some pretty cool deals for you to take a look at, once you're done with the hummus.
The Achievement Hunter sale is perfect for anyone who's looking to boost their gamer score without emptying their wallet. Have you always dreamed of traveling the world? Do you want to visit English country manors and Dubai skyscrapers? Are you willing to be morally flexible about the idea of taking human lives for money? If the answer is yes, then Hitman 3 is the way to go. The thrilling finale to the iconic Sneak and Stab series has you bumping people off all over the globe, using all your Hitman skills to do it as discreetly as possible. Blend into crowds, don disguises and poison drinks to take out your target and take off before anyone notices. Whatever tactics you employ, you can assassinate in style on the Xbox Series X and S, where the game runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. At 50% off, you'll be making an absolute killing, and Hitman 3 is also available via Xbox Game Pass.
Another great place to go hunting for achievements is on the battlefields of Middle-earth Shadow of War. You might have to rummage through some discarded helmets and dismembered orc parts, but they're definitely there somewhere. It continues the story of the Ranger Talion and his exceptionally close friend Celebrimbor as they take the fight to the evil Lord Sauron. But first they'll have to chop their way up his entire chain of command, forging all sorts of fierce rivalries along the way. Best of all, you can even recruit your own band of orcs, trolls, and other unspeakable monsters to fight the good fight along with you. Turns out they aren't all mindless killing machines. Now 70% off, you'll also find Middle-earth Shadow of War on Xbox Game Pass.
Outer Wilds lets you scour the galaxy for another 1000G, although you'll have to get a move on since the game takes place within a 22-minute time loop that ends in an all-consuming supernova. Now 40% off, this mysterious space adventure game has you rocketing from one planet to another, trying to figure out what happened to an extinct civilization called the Nomai. Nothing comes easy in Outer Wilds. You start the game with very little information and will have to ask around just to get the launch codes for your ship. And once you've got it up into the sky, bringing it down again smoothly can be challenging. But you'll learn a little more on each journey round the time loop, following the breadcrumbs left behind by those who came before. Keep your eyes open and your wits about you, and you might just get to the bottom of how you ended up in this whole Groundhog Day scenario in the first place.
To paraphrase a certain horrible Rocky, let's do the time loop again. 12 Minutes was one of the glitziest titles to hit Xbox Game Pass last year thanks to its all-star voice cast, and it's now 40% off into the bargain as well. It features another poor soul who finds themselves repeating the same time period over and over and over and over again. He comes home, has a fairly surprising conversation with his wife, and then watches on in horror as a stranger bursts through the door and inadvertently murders him. He does at least get to enjoy a slice of cake first though, so that's nice. There are so many secrets to uncover here that you'll find yourself going round and round trying different things just to see what happens. And not only will you steadily uncover an enticing story full of twists and turns, but you'll also scare up a bunch of easy achievements into the bargain too. Of course, there are plenty more amazing Day 1 titles lined up for Xbox Game Pass, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for all the latest info.
If you're hot on the trail of some sweet gamer score, then there's no one better to help you out than Sam. He's got the keen nose of an Irish wolfhound, the street smarts of a detective, and an insane little rabbit thing for a best friend. He really is the whole package. Now 30% off, Sam and Max Save the World sees the titular pair taking on hypnotic Hollywood has-beens, giant robot Abraham Lincolns, moon-based cult leaders, and all sorts of other entirely ridiculous adversaries in an all-time classic point-and-click adventure. When you're playing a game that's so full of hilarious little details and slapstick sight gags, you want to be able to see it all as clearly as possible. So it's a good thing that Sam and Max Save the World has been fully remastered for maximum hilarity.
Right, now that we're done with achievement hunting, let's head over to the bundles sale to check out a few package deals. For example, while each of the Mass Effect games are masterpieces in their own right, you only get the full effect of this sweeping space opera if you play through the whole thing start to finish. And there's no better way to do that than with the Legendary Edition, which gives the whole thing a lush makeover and even throws in an exclusive 120 FPS option for all you Xbox Series X players. Design your very own Commander Shepard, make friends and foes across the galaxy, chuck folk around with your deadly mind powers, and go on an intergalactic adventure for the ages in this acclaimed action RPG trilogy. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is now 60% off, but you'll also find it over on Xbox Game Pass. Send up the bat signal and strap on your utility belt because the Arkham Collection is also now 70% off. When it comes to comic book adaptations, this trilogy totally changed the game thanks to how perfectly it balanced the various sides of the Dark Knight's persona. You get to play as the world's greatest detective, scanning crime scenes for clues and tracking down the bad guys. You get to stalk your enemies in the darkness using fear as a weapon as you terrorize them from the shadows, and when all else fails, you get to wail on everyone in sight as a world-class martial artist with a suit of cutting-edge body armor. From the iconic Arkham Asylum to the open-air prison of Arkham City, right onto the streets of Gotham itself in Arkham Knight, each game ups the ante by giving you a bigger hunting ground to work with and even more iconic enemies to take down. 2022 has already been a pretty great year for Bat fans, and this deal could make it even better.
The most mega of men deserves the most mega of collections, and that's exactly what you'll get with the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. That means you'll be getting a decade's worth of iconic action platformers, giving you 8 exciting Mega Man X titles to blast your way through. The X series expanded on the original formula by giving players way more parts to tinker with, upgrading their Robo Buddy with a wide variety of gadgets and gizmos to help them stay one step ahead of their enemies. And they also added in a slightly more grounded, grittier story to make sure that the games had some real heart. It might be underneath a layer of impenetrable android armor, but it's definitely there.
The final and far and away the most frightening bundle in this bunch comes with deadly diver suits, scary little girls, and floating cities powered by steampunk. It's the Bioshock Collection. Taking place in an underwater dystopia known as Rapture, the original Bioshock is one of the most thought-provoking horror games ever made, if you can find the time to ponder ideological quandaries while fending off homicidal maniacs with hooks for hands, that is. You might have a better time appreciating its finer points in the second game, where you get to return with your very own set of Big Daddy armor to level the playing field. Although, wouldn't you know it, they've come up with a quicker, creepier new bad guy to keep you in your place. And then it's off to the city above the clouds for Bioshock Infinite, where you'll discover that yet another would-be paradise is actually harboring some truly awful secrets. Oh, plus the space-time continuum seems to be getting a little creaky, so there's that. The whole terrifying trilogy can now be yours with a massive 80% sliced off its price.
With great bundles of bundles and all the achievements you could ask for, this week's sale looks like another winner. Let us know which discounts you'll be taking advantage of down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for all the latest Xbox wheelings and dealings. We'll see you next time.